LinkedIn is probably the worst social media platform on the internet. And that's saying something because there are some really bad ones out there. And that might sound harsh, but just hear me out here. LinkedIn was supposed to be a website people visited to look for work or maybe do some networking, and that was pretty much it. But now we're constantly bombarded with endless posts from CEOs talking about leadership, strangers announcing promotions, and people writing motivational stories that probably never happened. You see posts like this guy telling us what proposing to his girlfriend taught him about business to business sales, or this lady who claims that her kids solved the gender pay gap, or this one trying to get attention by showing us how his wife budgets the $7,000 allowance he gives her monthly. Posts like these are why LinkedIn can feel so forced and performative. People use personal moments like these as content because they get attention. And the more emotional or controversial the story is, the more likely people are to react to it. That attention brings more views, more followers, and more eyes to their personal brand or their company, which could mean new customers or job offers. So what actually happened to LinkedIn? Why is it like this? When you log into LinkedIn, the first thing you notice is how polished and sanitized everything is. You feel like you have to play along. You need the perfect looking profile picture, a headline that makes you sound important, and engage with posts you don't actually care about. No one talks like a normal person. Every post sounds like it was written by HR. Instead of saying, I got a new job, it's I'm beyond thrilled to announce that I've accepted an exciting opportunity where I'll be leveraging my skills alongside an incredible team. Just say you got a new job. Or this lady who keeps posting the same motivational story every couple years about how she was rejected for a promotion because her boss gave the job to a friend. So she left the company, got a better job, and then, as a perfect twist of fate, her former boss supposedly asked her to come back and take the promotion. And I'm willing to bet this story didn't actually happen. Like, no way your former boss came begging you to come back. It could happen, but this just sounds made up to me. I honestly think the comments might be even worse. This person said, "Amen, sister." Another person said, "Same thing happened to me." And this person said, "Thank you for this inspiring post. I needed to be reminded of this." LinkedIn actually rewards this kind of behavior. The more likes and comments a post gets, the more LinkedIn shows it to people. So when new users join the platform, they feel like they have to keep up the fake persona. And so it becomes an endless cycle of cringe content. Job search is a huge part of LinkedIn. More than 66 million job seekers visit LinkedIn Jobs every week, and users submit around 11,000 applications every minute. That works out to roughly 660,000 applications an hour and almost 16 million every day. According to LinkedIn's own research, the number of applicants per job in the U.S. has doubled since 2022, making it much harder for any one application to stand out. One of the most frustrating parts of using LinkedIn is being ghosted. You can spend an hour tailoring your resume, answering all the application questions, then you click submit and you don't hear anything back for weeks, not even a rejection email. After a while, you start questioning everything. Like, was my resume bad? Did I apply late? Did anyone even look at my application? You don't know. One thing I wish LinkedIn borrowed from Indeed is better application updates. A lot of jobs posted on Indeed tell you when your application has been viewed, if it has been rejected or approved. I think this is a much better strategy because it helps people know how effective their resume is. It doesn't guarantee you'll get the job, but at least you know where you stand. Let's talk about LinkedIn Premium. One of its biggest selling points is that it lets you see who viewed your profile. LinkedIn constantly sends you emails and notifications saying someone looked at your profile. So, of course, you click because you want to know who it was. But instead of simply showing you, you're introduced to some of their premium plans. These plans can cost around $50 a month. That's a lot of money just to know who viewed your profile. And can we just talk about how misleading the pricing is? The larger text says $24.99 a month. So at first glance, you'd assume that's what LinkedIn will charge monthly. But this price only applies if you pay upfront for an entire year. In reality, you'll be charged almost $300 before tax, and if you actually want to pay month by month, the price is $49.99. The Duo plan does the same thing. It advertises $37.48 a month, but that means paying almost $450 up front. Yes, it technically says billed annually, but it puts that in much smaller text. Even they know that the price isn't worth it. The only other selling point for Premium is InMail, which lets you message recruiters directly. That sounds useful, but paying to send someone a message doesn't mean they'll actually read it or reply. Recruiters can still choose to ignore you. And LinkedIn knows this. They know that profile views and InMail aren't enough to justify charging $50 a month, so they add other features like Applicant Insights and Resume Writing Assistant. But none of that changes the hardest part of finding a job. You're still competing with hundreds of other people. You still need the right experience and a strong resume. And at the end of the day, you need a recruiter to choose you over everyone else. I've talked a lot about how problematic LinkedIn is, and so I wanted to conclude by asking, is LinkedIn still worth using? I think the answer is yes. A lot of people have found jobs on LinkedIn. The platform recommends jobs to you based on your profile, plus they help recruiters find job seekers. LinkedIn is built around matching recruiters and candidates. It's also useful for researching companies before you apply, seeing who works there, and even getting referrals. So despite everything I've said so far, LinkedIn is still a useful tool, and I can't blame them for everything. The current job market is terrible and corporate life is exhausting. So it kind of makes sense that LinkedIn reflects that. So I guess the real problem here is really corporate culture and some corporate greed. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. It really means a lot. You can also check out my last video on why tipping culture is so out of control. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.